Hi everyone, again welcome to Mailsoftly YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how many emails you can send a day in your email activities. So let's dive in. So the short answer is actually so it depends. So how many emails you can send a day depends on what kind of emails you're sending. So first of all, let's give an example. So if you're sending cold emails, then the general kind of idea is to just send under 50 emails a day to be on the safe zone, because otherwise the email service providers can just raise red flags for your emails, for your domain, and you can just have some deliverability issues, right? So make sure that you're sending under 50 emails a day if you're sending cold emails. So let's right now jump into the other kind of use case, which is what happens if you're sending your kind of an email marketing campaigns to opt-in contacts. So in this case, actually, again, it depends on your general kind of activities. So what I mean by that is, for instance, if you're just sending, just starting just right away, just starting new, then you should just be again in the lower limits. So you can just send, maybe you can start with 50 emails a day and then you can increase it. So, but in general, so in 2024 February, Gmail and Yahoo just published some standard guidelines. In their guidelines, they say that if in any domain, if there are just emails that's been sent above 5,000, so you are considered as a kind of a bulk sender. So if you're a bulk sender, you need to obey, you need to just comply with certain rules. But if you're under 5,000, it should be okay. So we can just deduct that, we can just assume that. So just sending under 5,000 emails a day, if you're just sending as a kind of a newsletter type of emails, you should be fine. But again, it depends on, of course, when you send, it should be opt-in list. So it should not be a cold list, because if it is a cold list and you just marked as spam in many of the your recipients, then you will have deliverability issues. Your domain reputation will just be affected in a bad way. So, but if you have like a good kind of practice of sending your emails, if you're not new, and then if you're like opt-in list, just know that maybe you're just sending every 2 weeks, you just send one newsletter, so they know it. So you should be good to go. So, but again, if you are kind of just sending your emails, and if you feel comfortable, then this time you can just go above 5,000 emails a day for each domain. So it's not just that one email box. So let's say that so for instance, my email is alkan@mailsoftly.com. So I can send like 5,000 emails, let's say, but it's not just me, but all the companies' domain. So for mailsoftly.com, it should be under 5,000 a day to be on the safe zone. So if you have employees, if they're sending other emails, so they're going to also be counted in your limit. What happens? So let's just assume that, okay, so what happens if you just send over 5,000 emails a day in your domain? So what happens? Actually, if you just follow the rules, then you should be again fine. What are those rules? So we can just maybe mention those rules. First of all, of course, you should have the DMARC policy enabled. DKIM and SPF records should be there, first of all. So you should just do your email authentication. So that's number one. Number two is you should have one-click unsubscribe in the header of your emails. So what does that mean? So if you're using email marketing tools, generally they have it. So in Mailsoftly, for instance, you don't need to just worry about it. It's already included. But again, one click unsubscribe should be there. And the third rule is, of course, you should have your general unsubscribe links again. And the other kind of item that you should just check is actually your bounce rates and your complaint rates. So if your bounce rate is above certain kind of percentage, then the chances are you will have deliverability issues. The same thing with complaint rates too. So those are very strict rules. So you should be very careful. Especially complaint rates are really strict, I would say. So you should be very, very careful with the complaints. So actually, the general percentage right now is you shouldn't get 0.3%. So that means that you can only have 3 spam complaint rates for each 1,000 emails you send. So let's assume that you just send 1,000 people. So if you get 3 complaints, more than 3 complaints, you're in trouble. Very, very strict. So that's why actually this one-click unsubscribe is very important, and also the the other opt-in structure, opt-in practice is important. So so in general, so that's how you should just look at your email activities actually. So in summary, if you're sending cold emails, which we don't recommend that much honestly, but again, if you want to do that, you should just limit your company domain that's been sent each day under 50, and you should closely watch your complaint rates and bounce rates, and see that if there's any dramatic just drop down, you should just stop, and then you should just focus on increasing your engagement levels. So how do you do that? You can have like a warm-up list that you have, and then you can send some emails to those warm-up lists, which maybe it may be your like employees emails and your personal emails, and making sure that it's in your inboxes. So and we got a lot of questions of there are some like warm-up tools out there. Should we use it, automatic warm-ups? So I don't want to rule out those kind of products, but you can just make your own judgment. So the main thing why actually this cold email outreach is not best practice is because we are all bombarded with a lot of emails a day, right? So but we just want to have emails from important people or important like companies, I would say. So but what happens if everyone sends cold emails? So they are just trying to just grab our attention. Maybe we also do that, right? So if you send a kind of a cold email to anyone, maybe you're just kind of just trying to grab their attention. Okay, but that's okay. But if every company does that, then what happens? So it will be junk, our emails, right? So that's why actually we need to understand that. So those kind of email service providers actually are doing good for public, for us in general. So but of course this kind of marketing, this kind of solicitation is okay in certain limits, I would say. So we should just be under the radar in that sense, and we should just follow the best practices. So best practices is actually the volume that we send should be limited, and we should pay close attention to what's going on with our kind of open rates, click rates. And actually, if we can just create our cold emails very, very personalized way, and also if we can just have our list so that the emails that we send actually may be found interesting by our recipients. So we should just make sure that we have a good kind of list, good target list. And also we need to make sure that you have some kind of a good content in your email. You should give some value to those recipients. So that's the thing. So that's why actually we should be careful with this cold email approach. So, I mean, in terms of, again, I was mentioning the kind of automatic warm-up tools. Why I'm not a fan of those kind of tools is because, actually, as I said, so Gmail, Yahoo, so those are, Outlook. So those are smart guys, right? So they have a lot of machine learning, AI in their kind of, companies. So what happens? So this actually, so the spam filter actually they run is actually try to kind of, eliminate junk, eliminate, kind of unrelated emails going to the inboxes. So the warm-up thing is about your kind of domain and also your email sending IP. So two things: your domain name, reputation of your domain name, and also your email server IP address, right? So those are those two main things actually matters. So this warm-up thing is making sure that you emails that's been sent through your domain and your IP address actually have some engagement on the recipient side. So they open it, they click on it, they forward it to someone else. So all of those things actually make sure that you have a high engagement level. Warm-up thing is all about having some kind of engagement. So what happens if you do it automatically? If you just give it to some kind of a machine and making sure that the machine just clicks on the links and opens it. So of course Gmail, Yahoo, and Outlook will of course know it. So do we think that they're gonna just count this as a kind of an engagement, a real engagement, and make our kind of reputation score high? It's not that likely. It may be, actually. I'm not ruling out, as I said, but again, at the end of the day, someday they will realize that, okay, so those are just machine generated kind of engagement thing, and we need to ignore. They may have already done this, or they will probably do that. So instead of this, you always need to have some kind of organic, real engagement. How you do that? Again, content and your target list. If you just do your homework, actually, if you can do our homework, and then be a good kind of email sender guy, then we should be okay. But again, our reputation may just drop. So what we can do is actually, for the warm-up, again, we can just go and we can just try to do like real person's warming up thing, right? So instead of gaming the system, is this a gaming again? Maybe this is also a gaming, but again, it's a more like, I know it's a like more tedious process, but that's healthier approach for our. I mean, to me, that's a more kind of appropriate approach. So cold email is like that. So when it comes to, again, like newsletter or like opt-in marketing, again, we have, our kind of volume, your volume can be higher because people know that, okay, so there's a newsletter, so they know that they can unsubscribe, right? So, for the cold emails, again, they know they can unsubscribe, but cold email is actually, from the statistics, it's more frustrating, actually, whereas newsletters are seen more like, okay, so maybe they haven't subscribed to your newsletters, but again, they know that they can just go and look on the links, unsubscribe links, and then whenever they just click on this, they know that they will not receive it again. So yeah, that's what I was trying to actually just briefly mention today. So I hope you find it useful. So that's it for today. So if you like this video, please like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll continue making some other videos. Thank you.